Things get so strange. Is this the way it plays out? How long till we've decided to take back what we've lost, with no reason to fight it? There's no lines left to cross. We will try once more. All the life I've lived without, all of the lazy. I just forgot the lyrics to that song. All of the lies that you belt out, chew me up and spit me out. All the words I scream and shout, I can take them back if I knew how. Nothing can save me from myself. I've never felt so alone. And they're telling me I shouldn't be afraid, 'cause the future that they promise is different than what's upon us. Get me out of this digital masquerade. Say no one's listening, no one's learning. It's a bad decision, it's so concerning. I'm sick of the people that lie to my face. I'm sick of the rat race. Chew me up and spit me out until you get a good taste. I don't care anymore. You can tear me apart like a true carnivore. All of the life I've lived without, always leaving me with no doubt. All of the lies that you belt out, chew me up and spit me out. All of the words I scream and shout, I'd take them back if I knew how. Nothing can save me from myself. I've never felt so small as I do now. So small as I do I've lived without, always leaving me with no doubt. All of your lies that you belt out, chew me up, spit me out. All of the words I scream and shout, I'd take them back if I knew how. Nothing can save me from myself. Never felt so long. Hello, everybody. Nomadic says 8. Rick Hoover says yo. Piano Kid says nice. TR says I'm here. Toot says, can you buy a brand new Bissell 3333333333? No, I cannot. I've answered this a few times for some people. I understand that people might want to see every version of the refresh of the Power Force Helix series, but at the end of the day, the differences in changes to design are going to be identical across the lineup in terms of what they changed from the previous models. So I don't really see any practical purpose in re-reviewing, because I've reviewed the older style of all those machines. I don't really see a point in re-reviewing every single version when the only difference is going to be the squeegee on the bottom. That's the only difference. Slightly improved bare floor performance across the entire lineup. Otherwise, there's very little change from what I can tell. So it doesn't make any sense to buy another turbo and turbo rewind and turbo rewind pad just to come to the exact same conclusion that it's the same as the old machine but with slightly better bare floor performance. My opinion as far as... What the shit is going on? Why is OBS being a doofus? Do I need to update? What's going on? Check for updates? No updates are currently available. Okay, so I'm on the latest version. I don't understand why it's freezing. Do I need to update? What's going on? Did you guys miss any of what I... Did you guys miss enough to where you didn't understand what I was saying? Yeah, because my kilobits have been in the green. I've been streaming over 2,000 kilobits a second, and then it just drops off. Like, drops like a rock, down to 0. Randomly. I've already restarted, like... Reset your PC. That shouldn't be a problem. It's not my computer. I'm getting a consistent 30 frames per second.
My CPU is only pegged at 17%. It's not my computer. You can tell when I open Task Manager because it friggin' blinds me. Jesus Christ. Why is Task Manager not dark mode? Stupid. Look at this crap. It's like I have another light on. It's just on my right monitor where the chat is. Do you see that? That's crazy. Anyways, so Task Manager. Seeing what's taxing my system. OBS is only using 20% CPU. I'm only using 41% of my CPU and 69% of my memory. Nice. Firefox is using the most of it. It's using about 1.5 gigs, and that's about it. It's a bunch of background processes that are using crap in my memory. Why is my memory is just stuck at 69% for some reason? I don't know why. I'm only using 11 out of my 16 gigs, and I'm only using 37% of my CPU, but of course that spikes a little bit. So my computer's not powerful enough. It's not that. Yeah. Okay. Excuse me. Let's see. What is up, Chance? Hello. Piano Kid says, I love this. Poopy YT says, hello. Rick Hoover says, 4 guitar emojis. Piano Kid says, good. Poopy YT says, they have to go to sleep now. Good night. Doug Lead says, hi. Piano Kid says, I love this channel so much. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Nick B says, have you ever heard of Dyson V15 Detect Submarine? Of course I have. It's really stupid. One person, Vacuum Wars erroneously stated it was Dyson's first mopping vac. That is incorrect. Their first mopping vac was the Dyson Hard. That's what they called it. The Dyson Hard DC59. It was a white stick vac. Basically, just a Dyson DC44 Digital Slim is what it was for the most part. Except it had a straight suction head. It basically had a sweeper vac base assembly on the end of the wand. You know, power or cleaner head. So you could get Dyson branded pads. In fact, I still plan on getting one of those machines and reviewing them. Even though you can't get the pads anymore, I'm wondering if it'd be possible to just jerry-rig normal Swiffer pads to it. So the idea is you could vacuum them off at the same time. I can only assume they got rid of it because maybe people were sucking up wet things with the Dyson. I don't know. And maybe the Submarine is trying to address that a decade later because all the liquid is in its own separate compartment that stays on the floor. At least that's the idea. I haven't actually seen one of them working in real life. It really seems like a bad idea. I don't understand why Dyson doesn't just make a dedicated carpet washer and hard floor cleaner. I understand that they want to go the dry route for everything, but clearly they're acknowledging that that's not possible. You know, imagine, I mean, Shark just made an upright carpet cleaner. Teenco made one, of all people. So why can't Dyson? Because they don't really make the Zorb anymore. Like, they kind of do. They technically still make the Zorb, but it's like, it's very much like you're not supposed to buy it. Not that you're not supposed to, but it's like, actually, do we even know if Dyson's still making Zorb? I'll probably need to call Dyson and ask them. Because I'm actually curious about that. Because the packaging literally was never even updated for the US market. The Zorb is the same as it's been in this country for the last 25 years, since Dyson was in this market. They still advertise the DC04 on the packaging. So, also Dyson Gen 5 outsize absolute, yeah. Yeah, I've heard of both of them, of course. I've heard of anything Dyson. Dyson, yeah, the Dyson Hard is crazy. Maybe that's why they discontinued it, is because of the, Dyson would have to find a problem with carpet cleaners to make one. Well, here's the thing. A Dyson carpet cleaner would actually make sense. So many carpet washers leave too much water in the carpet. If you had a carpet cleaner with Dyson level suction that could really rip the water out of the carpet, that'd be great. And they could still incorporate the anti-tangle brush bar, so that way whatever hair gets picked up doesn't get wrapped around the brush like it does on every other freaking carpet washer. That would actually be a great idea. They won't do it though. For some reason, I imagine if they made it, it would remind a lot of people of the DC-15. Because I guess the tank would likely have to be... Would they really be ballsy enough to try to make the clean water tank a cyclone? I don't know. Maybe that's probably why they haven't done it, because they can't think of a way to shoehorn the cyclones on it. And that's kind of, whether we like it or not, that's part of their, design. So again, they can't do it. The floor cleaning machines are one thing, because they can just shoehorn an existing stick vac with a fancy head. That's been the case on both the hard and the submarine. Can we just appreciate the fact they came out with the submarine like a month after the Titanic, the ocean liner, Ocean Gate, Titanic tour bullshit imploded or exploded or whatever? Like, that was perfect timing to call your things, your wet vac, a submarine of all things. There's no way that wasn't there's no way that was a coincidence. There's no way that was a coincidence. That's ridiculous. Stupid. Can you get the Hoover Wind Tunnel Tangle Guard, please? No, I will not buy that machine. That's not a machine I plan on buying anytime soon, because even though my goal is generally to review a lot of different machines, at the end of the day, there's already a decent review out there on that machine, and it's by Performance Reviews. So I don't really see any reason to review it, not because I think his review style is better than mine, because I don't think it is or isn't. It's a different style, but because ultimately I know exactly how I'm going to feel about the machine based on what limited experience I've had with it already. The motor sounds like shit, and just from that alone, I don't recommend it. It's very top heavy in the similar fashion to a lot of Shark knockoff machines. It's made by TTI, another reason I don't recommend it, because the warranty is going to be garbage and that motor's going to burn out super quick. And it's just a Shark knockoff. That's all it is. It's a Shark. They took the cleaner head from a Ball Animal 3 and a Shark, whatever, like a power lift away, basically, like an MV752. That's all it is. And considering it's $200 for that thing, you can get a refurbished Dyson, a refurbished machine direct from Dyson for less than $200. You can get the Ball Multifold Origin for $150 direct from Dyson on their eBay store. No anti-tangle, yes, but it's going to run circles around that Hoover. And it's a fantastic machine. As long as you don't mind the actual machine sparking and killing you. Other than that, it's great. And it's a fantastic machine. As long as you don't mind the actual... Why is my stream being stupid? And it's a fantastic machine. As long as you don't mind the actual... Why is my stream being stupid? What he said. I don't know why it's doing this crap. I thought this was done. I thought this was over with. Why is this still happening? It's friggin' ridiculous. Because I'll have good kilobits. It'll work. It'll be working fine. And then just randomly, like, it's not even like, oh, my internet's getting slow, so it kind of like lags a little bit. It's literally going to from 3,000 kilobits a second and then just drops down to 0 and just shuts off. It's so annoying. I don't understand what's happening. And of course, I can't restart it. Or can I restart it? No, because then it's going to friggin' give me a stupid error message and it's going to kick everyone off the live stream, which is so annoying. This is one thing that YouTube changed that I hate. Because I can't manually end or start a stream outside of what it gets signal from. Because before, I could shut this off, restart it, but keep the stream going and just be like, hey, I'll be back in 8 seconds or 10 seconds. You know, chill for a bit, go grab a drink, I'll be right back. And then it'd be able to pop back in. And now it would just, oh, your stream's over, you gotta restart. I don't understand why they did that. God. It says my stream is healthy and my stream health is excellent. But I guarantee you it's going to drop off again. Phantom's been out of business for 22 years, yeah. Because it's YouTube, they're not known for making good decisions. Come on, Susan Wojcicki. Just please throw Chansey a bone. I mean, come on. We used to go bowling on Wednesdays. Come on. Anyways, so, oh god, I've been leaning forward way too much. My back's been killing me. Susan fired. Come on, Susan, please. You love me. Isn't there a new CEO? Oh, I forgot. It's not Susan anymore. It's some, like, unnamed corporate stooge, probably. Wait, is Susan not the CEO anymore? Oh yeah, I forgot. She stepped down at some point. Like, last year or something like that. Susan... I don't know how to spell her name. Oh, Susan oh, how do you say that? I thought it was Wojcicki. It's Wojcicki. Wojcicki? Susan Wojcicki? Is it just Wojcicki? Wait, how does... Wojcicki. No, I was right. Yeah. Wojcicki. Yeah, Wojcicki. Yeah, so no, I was right. It's Susan Wojcicki. Is she not... Former CEO of YouTube. Okay. So I was right. I pronounced her name right. Yeah. See, that's the great part about being Polish. I can pronounce any name. Doesn't matter what it is. Like, I saw that name and I was like, Wojcicki. She has to be Polish, right? Anyways. Hey, Chance, I sent you a friend request on Facebook. Who are you? Landon Jennings. That sounds familiar. Do I know you from somewhere? Is it just from here? Z and Wind Tunnel 2. Ordering the rest of my Phantoms. Do you need any more Phantoms? There's a rumor going around saying TTI about Bissell. It's never been true. It's bullshit. I don't know why people keep saying that. I don't think Bissell is willing to be bought at this point. Most easy Polish name. This post made by the Slovak gang. Yep. Phantoms, yeah. One thing Hoover needs to improve is their quality. That's the least of their problems at this point. But yes, they do need to improve their quality, hands down. So my 10 amp and another 10 amp are being ordered. Same for limited edition, special edition, and 9 amp. Bissell's too big to be bought out. Yeah, Bissell's literally the #1 vacuum brand. Yes, I need a whole garage full of phantoms. I thought you lived in an apartment. You have a garage? Hmm. Oh, I guess I have seen your garage before. So is it like, is it like a duplex then? Quadplex? Or a quadplex is the thing? I did get a couple new vacuums today. None of them, as you can see, I finally moved some of the vacuums that were behind me. So the Orange Fury and the 11 amp I moved upstairs. The other ones that are right here are the Elite Rewind, my main Fury with the googly eyes, a random blue DC33, and then the Dart is over there, which you probably can't see because there's a box with a lamp in it that I've been meaning to replace this lamp with, but I haven't gone around to it. But that box is pushed against the dresser, and the SIBO Dart's like nozzle like perfectly wraps around it. So I haven't bothered to move it. That's pretty much that. That's pretty much all there is to it. Let's see. Duplex. Oh, okay, yeah. I used to live in a duplex a number of years ago, and honestly, I don't mind duplexes. I You don't really see very many duplexes anymore. At least I don't. Because I'm very opposed to like very corporatized apartments. It feels like a jail to me. And then I prefer to live in a detached home like now. I mean that's why I put up living with it in this shithole, even though, it's not worth the price I pay now that rent went up, but I mentioned that a million times. Not the point. But, a duplex I don't mind so much. I still prefer a detached home, but I'd be fine with living in a duplex. I've seen some nice duplexes in the town across from mine, and there's one that's like might be coming up for rent next year, and it looks really good. I would absolutely love to, because I plan on trying to build my credit up, and if all goes well, then hopefully I can buy a house when I'm like, because I'm 23 right now. So if I could buy a house when I'm like 26, 27, that'd be really cool. And then I would really like, because I don't like moving. What a surprise, right? Someone with a huge, giant collection doesn't want to move because it's a pain in the ass. No, but genuinely, I don't like moving. So if I could stay in this piece of shit house, until I'm able to actually buy something, that'd be ideal. Because, you know, I just hate moving. But it would be nice to be able to experience living in a duplex for a little bit. But unless it sucks, that's the thing. You only want to experience it if it's good. So who knows? This is the first time I've drank Voltage in a while, and God, this is when you don't drink. I've been really. So here's what I've been doing. I've been drinking a lot more coffee, which is probably not that much better, but at least it's not as sugary. And, just as much caffeine, but if not more caffeine, but less sugary. So, better, question mark. So I've been mostly cutting out soda. The only exception being, like, one of my go-to fast food things whenever I want to eat out is Wendy's 4 for 4. Because they don't have, technically, it's not the 4 for 4 anymore, but it's the $5 biggie bag. It's basically just a $5 4 for 4. Still a great deal. And so it'll come with a small drink. And I'll get a small Coke with it. But, so I haven't drank these, like, really fruity Mountain Dews in a long time. This one's been chilling in my fridge for, like, 3 months. I just finally cracked it open and, wow. Voltage, and it still kind of is, Voltage, for the longest of time, I said was my favorite Mountain Dew, my favorite just beverage in general. And it's not that it isn't, but once you get used to not drinking it and you drink it again, it's like, oh God, what is this? Like, not like ew, but just like, ugh, that's, it's intense, But this is Voltage, so it has the ginseng in it. I don't know what ginseng is, but ginseng. And it's, of course, raspberry citrus. It's still really good. I just hate how with regular soda it leaves that slimy crap in the back of your throat from the corn syrup. Oh, disgusting. That's the worst part about it. If it didn't have that problem, I would drink it more often, honestly. But yeah, Bissell's never gonna get bought out. Okay, did someone ask me? Okay, wow, comments just dropped like crazy as I was ranting about Mountain Dew. Let's see. It was offered to me, William. Yeah, that happened with both my Canadian fandoms too, from Ian, who I just talked to. He's nice. But yeah, the oh, I just slammed my phone on the mouse. Okay. Yeah, Bissell's definitely better these days. I found out why Dyson owners wrap the cord in a crisscross, because when the cord is let down, it will not be tangled, but when it isn't, the crisscross gets tangled a lot. Yeah. No, I get that, yeah. I was wondering because my aunt did that too with her DC-14 animal. And now she has like I think she has a DC-41 animal, but she got a cordless. Oh no, I think she bought a shark. Ugh. And I'm like, really? I keep telling all my family, guys, stop buying the sharks. Stop buying sharks. Stop buying sharks. And they keep buying sharks. I found out, yeah. Daredevil's newest upright looks interesting. It does. I actually got the email, them saying that it got released. That I might review it at some point, since I reviewed the other one, but we'll see. And this one actually is a different design. But yeah. Finally in a stream. A random question. Have you ever listened to the song Scooby-Doo It's Terror Time? I don't know if I have. I know that one song from the older Scooby-Doo TV show. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, we're coming after you. We're gonna solve that mystery. And Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Where are you? I don't remember how it goes. It's something like that. Do you still have the Hoover Power Drive Civil XL? Power Drive Civil XL. What model was that? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't have any swivel Hoovers right now that are, at least not that are working. I think I have a black Hoover swivel in the basement that's like, it's like missing half of the pieces and you can't get parts for them anymore, or just at all, even though it's a current model. So I think I might have one, if that's what that is, the black model with the larger bin, but it doesn't work. So yeah, they need to stop removing the brush roll shut off on vacuums. Bissell should make Power Force and Cleanview compact rewinds. I don't think they'd be able to, because there just isn't enough space. I really want a house. 3-bedroom would be nice, yeah. I'd love 4, but 7 would be cool too. Or 9. 9 would be a bit excessive, but 7 would be cool. 7 bedrooms. Technically speaking, they wouldn't have to all be bedrooms, because they wouldn't all be used as bedrooms. You have the room full of vacuums. You have the other room full of vacuums. You have the game room. You've got the family room, the living room, bedroom, extra bedroom for whenever Riley snores, guest bedroom, office, other equally important office. What are we at, 6 now? Something like that. I didn't pay attention. I could use 7 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. Okay, 5, maybe not 5. I'd settle for 4. Even 3. 3 bathrooms would be cool. The red and white Hoover. Yeah, Dirt Double's been going up. I mean, it's still TTI, but they've been getting better at least. Oh wow! It just spiked. Let's see. Coffee. Let's hope it doesn't crash. Sorry, I'm a little far behind. I wish these comments were time stamped, so I could see how far back I am. I don't drink coffee. Okay, fair enough. Bissell will never get bought out. I don't know about never, but on the track they're going right now, they have 0 chance of it. It's like that leak about how Microsoft allegedly talked about buying Nintendo. Like, it's not gonna happen. Like, sure, someone internally said, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we bought Nintendo? But obviously that was never gonna happen. It's so funny how everyone in gaming news was like pretending like that was like a legit thing, like Microsoft almost bought Nintendo. No, the fuck they didn't. That was never gonna happen. The Switch is like one of the most successful console of all time. Like, it's wild. I know people who never play video games who have a Switch. Like, it's crazy. What is up with your family with buying sharks? I don't know. I know what it is. One of them bought an Apex, loved it, and told everybody else. And then I told those people, hey, guys, just letting you know, I'm glad you're happy with these, but just letting you know, it can have this problem, this problem, this problem, and this problem. So as long as you keep up to date with the maintenance on it, watch that brush roll, hopefully you shouldn't have a problem. But just keep in mind, these machines aren't designed to last. So whenever it breaks, let me know and I'll recommend a good machine for you. I'd start saving up now just in case. That's what I tell them. And they ask, what do you recommend? And I'm like, usually, and Dyson is usually, if you really need a bagless machine, Dyson. And if you want a bagged machine, then the sad truth is that there isn't much out there. The Cibo Dart, yeah, but it's, at a minimum, it's $200 than what most people pay for their sharks. Because the Apex is like a $300 vacuum now, and it's been for a while. So it's like, and of course, they're like, oh, it doesn't have the soft roller, doesn't have this, doesn't have that, doesn't have the anti-tangle, so they think it's the worst. It doesn't have all of its attachments on board. Like, really? Like, yeah, it's just, I really wish there were. Let's see. Shart, the official vacuum for fat middle-aged women named Karen. And yeah, I mean, it's not that. I understand why my family often will get the Apexes, because they have pets, they have mostly hard floors. A lot of them lived in very recently built houses. And their houses mostly bare floors, and they have carpeted stairs, and the occasional rug or two, but it's mostly like, it's the kind of thing where, it's open concepts. So there's kitchen and living room, all one giant room, and then front door, back door, stairs, various bedrooms off to the side. The bedrooms have carpet. Downstairs has usually carpet, because every one of my family members live in one of those houses that's built on a hill. So you walk into the front door like you normally would, but because it's built on a hill, you can go downstairs to the basement, but from the basement you can walk out onto the back porch. It's like that kind of shit. So And I totally understand why all my family, every one of my aunts and uncles always get houses like that, because they're fucking beautiful. Like, they really are. And, you know, it's just classic suburban, like, you know, you feel like you're successful. And so, since the majority of the main living spaces that they be cleaning most often, because that's where everybody usually congregates, it makes sense to have a machine that's more tailored to that. So I get it, you know. And of course, pets, the anti-tangle's good, the sealed system's good, the attachments are pretty, you know, decent at least. You know, they get the job done. So like, I get it. I get it. So, you know, for their type of house, I'm not really confident that a Seabo Dart would be the right machine for them. Or if they still sold them a Miele U1. It'd be an amazing machine. I mean, I'd happily use a Miele U1 in that house if I had it. But truth be told, for me, the way I would do it if I had that house is very similar to the way that I would do it if I had my current house, which is cordless machine with a soft roller for all the bare floors, and strong corded upright for the carpets. And that's not a bad solution. But a lot of people like that aren't going to want to mount something on their really nice kitchen wall. You know, they're not going to mount a stick vac. They want something they can put away in the closet. And that's where that rocket bullshit comes in. Because it's a stick vac, but you plug it in, you just put it away. And that's why people buy those shitty rockets. And they're terrible. Anyways, so I totally get it. I'm going to do a video on this at some point, because there's so much disconnect and so much just ignorance when it comes to people not understanding why it is that Shark is successful. If you actually pay attention, you understand why it's become successful. But nobody in the industry, maybe it's their autism getting in the way, because I will admit it took me a while to figure it out. But when I actually used a few Sharks, even though I don't like them personally, I understand why someone else may overlook the flaws that I see, or even just straight up not notice them, and enjoy the products. And anyone who doesn't acknowledge that is either stupid or an idiot. I just realized that's the same thing. Is either... What is it? Is either lying or willfully ignorant? Is that the terminology? I think you understand what I'm trying to say. But yeah. My family is dumb as fuck, but their taste of value is actually not the worst. Hoovers and Kirby's. Ugh. I don't like Kirby's. Okay. What would you like to see improved on the Powerforce Bag 1739 model? Honestly, my only complaint with that machine? Longer cord, less whiny motor. I mean, basically all my complaints come back to just preferring the old style. So I prefer a side-mounted power switch. I prefer a proper post-motor filter that I can replace. I prefer a longer extension wand and a longer cord. But there's no point in complaining about those, because all those are addressed with the big green commercial, the VGU 1451T, or the Sanitaire ELSA 4110A, although the big green is generally the better choice. So that's the main difference. So maybe it's because I lived with mostly carpet for 26 years, but after living in a place with half hard floor, I don't think I like it as much as I thought it would. I don't understand this trend of removing carpet from living spaces. Bathrooms make sense. Kitchens make sense. Even a hallway I could kind of understand, but no, not really. But why would you want your living room to be hard floor? I don't get that. Like, A living room, like when I think of a living room, I think of big TV, maybe a game controller in your hand, maybe a TV remote, maybe you're sitting, chilling with your significant other, wrapped up in fuzzy blankets on a nice, comfy, ugly couch. Because generally speaking, in my experience, the ugliness of a couch is directly proportional with how comfortable it is. And just being cozy, like in the wintertime. That's what I think of. I can't imagine then having cold, hard, stiff floors. Like, I don't get it. Like, that doesn't seem, that doesn't, to me, that doesn't scream comfy home. It screams doctor's office, Like, even if it's not the same type of floor, it's just the fact that it's a hard floor. It's just not right. That being said, if you have an open concept like that, having floor makes sense because otherwise there'd be a stiff line from where the two ends and it doesn't feel as open. But I don't know. I don't understand the point in not having carpet and then putting a giant rug there anyways. Like, well, actually, I do understand it from the perspective of it's much easier to throw away a rug than, if the pet pisses on it or whatever, than to rip up carpet. So there is that. But in terms of actual like living and comfort, not just constantly stressing about maintenance, which I know that's the main thing that everyone always mentions. Oh, I'm gonna get a carpet. I want to get rid of my carpet so I don't have to vacuum and I don't have to shampoo it. It's like, well, you still have to vacuum it. Because if you just try to sweep up everything, you're gonna scratch the shit out of your floors. Modern vacs haven't even been getting boring. Yeah. Why does every vet? This is a longer comment, but I'm kind of Bissell multi-clean hydrogen pet. Basically, a lot of the Bissell liftoffs look like a shark. Why does every vacuum look like a shark? Because sharks are successful. So every company's thinking we have to copy it. It's just like what happened with Dyson 10 years ago. Every company wanted to copy the DC-07 and the DC-14 because they were wildly successful. So they wanted to copy it. It's literally, that's all it is. Monkey see, monkey do when it comes to the market. They'll somehow think that they can make their own version that's somehow more successful than the original, and that's 9 times out of 10, that's not the case. But the way, Shark probably feels great right now because they know, they're like, ha, all these people are copying our designs when they're making fun of it, how. Kenmore Featherlight Lift Up looks like a shark. Yeah, of course. Oh yeah, there is that Kenmore bagged up, right? But again, it's no anti-tangle or anything like that. Yeah, and that's the other thing is you can't really. I mean, you shouldn't sit on the floor anyways, but if you wanted to, it's less comfortable on bare floors. People have gotten lazier and lazier. I don't really think it's a laziness factor. I'm not complaining about hard floors in a way of saying, oh, old man yells at cloud and hates hard floors. It's not that. It's just I just don't feel the same. And so it's like it's to the point where I've looked at houses and when I'm renting and like hard floors, that's a deal breaker. Because they're never even nice hard floors. They're always nasty hard floors, and the landlord's still gonna find a way to bitch about it. It's like, okay, there's no carpet in this house. Why the fuck don't you allow pets? What are the pets gonna do? Scratch your nasty ass fucking floor that's already tore up? Hoover's a fantastic company. I disagree. I strongly disagree. Do you like Hoover, Chance? Nope. Not these days. This Hoover. You see this Hoover right here? This Hoover right here. This. See this? You're looking at the last good Hoover they ever made. This is the last good Hoover they made. This is the last Hoover that TTI made that's worth a shit. Well, that and the newer version, the newer design of this. The Elite Rewind Plus model. That one's almost as good. I think this one's slightly better, but I shouldn't say this is the last. The Elite Rewind Plus and its various offshoots, which you can still get. It's harder to find, but you can still get them. They still make them at some retailers. These are the only Hoovers I recommend. You know, or like I said, the version that looks like this, but it's less angular. It's got like the curved handle, which you guys have seen those a million times. But the various versions of these are the last Hoovers, or the only Hoovers in their current lineup that I'd recommend. I don't recommend the swivel models because they have a massive design flaw that for some reason other reviewers have refused to acknowledge, and that makes them completely unworthy of recommendation, which is unfortunate because the rest of the machine is improved in a lot of good ways. But if you can't leave it on your carpet without it leaning forward and burning your carpets and damaging them, you can't use it. You can't buy it. The original bagged wind tunnels were the last good Hoover they made until Hoover kept shooting themselves in the foot with their decisions in the Maytag era. I agree. Well, speaking of Hoover, which I guess I'll have to pull this back a little bit. So I can put this Hoover back where it was. So, fun fact, I actually got 2 new machines today. Technically, I didn't get them. My lovely fiance got them for me, as they had gone to an estate sale while I was at work and found a couple interesting machines, as well as a Brother laser printer, which was in great shape, still had toner in it, still works great. And it's like a $300 printer, and I got it for free. And I also got these 2 things for free, which you will see in a few seconds, all for free from a local estate sale. There's 2 machines, and I'll show you those real quick. So this is the first one. Another MVP. Yes, I already have one of these, but this one's much better condition. And I actually bought a base plate for my other one to fix it. So once I put that base plate on, I'll have 2 of them that are in good shape. And this is how I got it too. It's actually really clean for the most part. So that one appears to be in better condition than the other one that I have, but I could be wrong. It looks less scratched up. So MVP only has the crevice tool, no other attachments or tools or anything. I have not ran either of these yet, but my fiance has ran them and said they run fine, so we'll see later on. So maybe a vacuum save coming soon, possibly, maybe. Okay. And finally, We have this. Another Elite. And this one's just an Elite. It's not anything else. So now I've got both an Elite 2 and an original Elite, which is cool. I don't know why I held up a 3. So I have both an Elite and an Elite 2, which is awesome. And this one's blue. No attachments, but it does have the hose, obviously, and it does have the wand. And I was kind of worried because the cord is kind of bundled up like this, but the lower cord, I just looked, the lower cord hook is there. And it all looks to be in excellent shape. So, and it even has the swing, it even has the add swing ticket with it. This thing. So it has that with it too. It's still attached to the bag. So that's really cool. And it's the 7 amp model too, so it's probably going to be nice and quiet, at least for an Elite, which I'm very happy about. So definitely these are in amazing condition. I haven't looked at the bottoms of them, but they look great. So I'm really confident that these will work. And given that I got them for a whopping $0.0000, I'm happy with my purchase. So yeah, that's awesome. And I love the dark gray cable this has. Very nice. It doesn't seem to be very long though. That's the only thing I don't like about Elites, is that there's no Elite with a long cord. So is the only Elite with a long cord going to be the commercial one? Because that one has what, a 30-foot cord? This has to be 20 feet. If that. What, maybe 22, 25? This is definitely not 25. Well, I don't know. It could be. We'll find out. But yeah, so this Elite is definitely going to stay in the collection. I'm debating. I might get rid of a different Elite to make room for it, but I'm not quite sure. So right now, also, it's only the top of the line ones. Okay, yeah. I love the Hoover Hush Tone upright vacuum cleaner. Oh, nice. Yeah. I notice with every Elite, this the cap on the top is always really loose. Not that it matters, but I love these handles. Very nice. So I both love and hate Rick Hoover and Grayson Richard, because both of you guys have got me obsessed with these goddamn Elites. It's all your fault. Fuck you. Now I have 1 million of them. In the nicest way possible. Fuck you. But genuinely, these things, I'm starting to get, wow, that's the gayest fucking thing I've ever, well, I guess technically not. But this thing is yeah, definitely staying in the collection. Definitely staying in the collection. So, yeah. The Elite Supreme Legacy Dimension. Yeah, so right now, I've got an Elite 2, Caddyvac, still looking for a good runabout. But right now I have, in my collection, I have now an Elite 2, Soft and Light, because I have 2 different versions of the Soft and Light, so I might sell the second one. But a Soft and Light, Elite 2, Soft and Light, Caddyvac, Elite Supreme, Elite 350, maybe that's it. And then I'm selling, and then I have, but I'm probably going to sell, definitely selling the Power Max 2, definitely selling the convertible Elite, might sell one of my Soft and Lights, and then definitely selling my 88 Runabout, my white one, because I want to get one of the newer green ones. And then is that it? I thought I had more Elites than that. I'd have to actually go upstairs and look. But I think, are there any elites I'm missing? Let me just think of all the elites I have, regardless of what I'm doing with them. So elite, elite 2, caddyback, soft and light, other soft and light, runabout, power max 2. Wait, no, elite, elite 2. It's too friggin' many. Elite, elite 2, elite 350, convertible elite, soft and light, other soft and light, power max 2. Caddyvac, runabout. I think that. So I have 9 elites right now. I think that's all of them. It's probably all of them. And some of those I am selling, like I mentioned. I'm selling the Power Max 2, selling the 88 runabout. I would keep the 88 runabout if I could find a bag. I don't even care if it's a matching one. If I can find an outer bag, I'd keep that runabout. I don't even care if it matches. Why did I say that? Now Rick's gonna like send me a link to a bag and I'll be forced to keep it. But it's don't you have an Elite Supreme? I thought I mentioned that one already. Yeah, I do. I have that. I thought I mentioned the Elite Supreme already. So I have at least 9 not Phantom. Well, definitely 9 Phantoms, but 9 Elites. Are you mad about me getting the Phantoms? No, I don't care. That's fine. I am mad about the Westinghouse one, technically, but I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at the seller. And frankly, it sounds like you're not going to get that machine anyway, so I think the seller just ripped you off. So I probably dodged a bullet. So technically, I'm not mad at you. I am mad at Bray though. At least I was. I don't really care too much anymore, but I definitely was at the time. You still mad about the Rubbermaid? Of course I'm fucking mad. I wasted $140 on that piece of shit. And the thing doesn't fucking work. Of course I'm mad about it. But, you know, it is what it is, you know. One of these days I will pull it open and try to see if I can't somehow bypass that board, or if there's like there's got to be some way, right? Like there's got to be some way to bypass that board, or like force it to just not detect the clog or whatever. There's got to be some way. Whether I discover that way, we'll see. And it's definitely bullshit that I would have to put that amount of work into something that I paid full price for. But maybe in theory I could get something to work. I did talk to some people who've done similar work on G series machines, which are not the same, but similar-esque in design. Obviously, the Rubbermaid is just a rip-off of the G1. So, maybe, question mark? I'm holding out hope, for sure. Although, once I do get it fixed, I am selling it because, fuck that thing, I'm done with it. But I'll be selling it with a stack of 10 bags, so that should make it at least easy to sell. And I won't charge any more for it either. I will literally just try to get back, ideally, what I put into it. Not even counting the bag of bags. So I'll probably sell it with the bags for what I bought for it without the bags, which I think was like $125 or something like that. I can't remember. You can bypass the board. I'm sure there's a way to do that, yeah. I might ask Alex, because I think he knows a lot about the G series machines. Sherrod Brown. Yeah, I love this Crab Brain Goon page on Facebook. I opened on my phone and for some reason Facebook opened, and now I'm just randomly sharing memes on Facebook. Hmm. Heading up to sleep. Have a good night, Chance. All right, you too. Have a great night, Rick. Let's see. I was on a call with him and he told me that, quote, you are tripping if you thought you were getting a Phantom for that piece of shit, was his words. Don't you just love that? Don't you love how someone can literally admit, hey, the machine I sold you is a piece of shit, and you paid way too much for that piece of shit, and that's why it's not worth what it's not worth swapping it out for another machine. Because I charged you way too much for your piece of shit that doesn't work, but since I'm also charging even more too much for this other machine, even though in reality they're actually very equal in terms of value, no, I can't do that, and you're stupid, basically. Like, that's just amazing to me. Just that level of arrogance. Wow. How much money was the Rubbermaid? I paid $120 for it plus shipping, whatever shipping was. So I think shipping was like another $25, 20 or $25, something like that. So I paid somewhere between 125 and 140 for it after all said and done. I can't go back and see the actual exact amount. I can only see like the price tag for the machine itself. And that Fury that he mentioned, first I've bought fully good Furies easy for $100, not like multiple times over, so it's not like a one-time thing. And also, that Fury has a shitty motor and has a busted pedal release. And he's trying to say that it's like worth gold. He's trying to say it's worth as much. I think I offered him like before the Rubbermaid shit happened. I think I offered him like 180 for it or something like that, or like 185 or something like that, and he denied the offer. He wants like $250 for that machine. In its current condition, it has broken parts on it. He wants for over 250 for it. I forgot the exact number. Don't quote me on that, but it's over 200 for it at least. I paid 300 for one sealed in the box, brand new. Like everything with it, brand new, user manual, nothing, never turned on, perfect condition, brand new. I paid $300, and he wants $250 for a broken one. Like, so yeah, so I'm literally saying, hey, can I trade this broken machine for this other slightly less broken machine? Like, it's really not that unreasonable. And I even and he doesn't mention this part, but it's like when I sent him that message, I said, I'd rather just trade it for the Fury or an equivalent machine. He skips that part, or equivalent machine. So he very easily could have said, okay, I still don't want to trade for the Phantom. I still want to see if I can get more for it elsewhere. But, here's this that I could offer you instead. Or, something else. He could have said anything. He has a lot of vacuums. But instead, he just latched onto that and tried to... He's trying to play the victim for some reason, which I don't understand. He's being very defensive about it. And and it's like, I can tell whenever people are, like, bullshitting me. Because... it's one thing if I sent him a message like that and he was like, oh, I'm sorry you had a problem with it. I know it's been a really long time. There's not really much I can do, but hey, even if he said, like, look, it's been a long time, I don't really have the funds to essentially buy it back, but, if you wanted this machine, I'd give you a good deal on it to make it up for you. Like, I've been in situations where I've had to deal with customer service where I didn't have a lot of money to play with and I had to try to make other deals work. So I totally get that. If that's the reason why, then I would totally understand that. But he didn't say that. He immediately jumped to being super defensive, trying to make himself the victim, trying to gaslight me into believing that I'm somehow crazy for thinking that it's illogical that a machine would fail for sitting for an extended period of time, and that even if that was the case, that would somehow be my fault when he sold me a machine that was physically unusable at the time. Like, and again, I reiterate, he aggressively ripped the bag out of the machine, leaving the collar behind, with fragments of the paper still attached to it. Like, it didn't seem like the kind of thing of, someone, oh, the bag was full, so he decided to just go ahead and remove it to maybe save a pound on shipping or whatever. It didn't really, I don't really see it that way. It very much seems like someone who sold the machine, went to go test it prior to putting it in the box, found out that it shut off, and freaked out and ripped the bag out because he's like, okay, well, if I rip the bag out, if I remove the bag somehow, and then he can't run it for a while because the bags aren't available, then I can just say that he broke it. And then, obviously, he then was in a hurry and tried to pull out the bag, couldn't figure it out, and just ripped it off, tossed it, and then chucked it in the box. Well, I shouldn't say chucked it. I don't remember the packaging on it, but I don't remember it being packaged badly, at least. I don't remember if the packaging was really good or really bad, or if it was, like, average. But the, either way, this isn't the first time I've had a problem with something that Braze sold. So, it's definitely, I'm not going to sit here and tell people what to do with their money or anything like that, but I think it's safe to say that I would not recommend purchasing a machine from him. Not saying you can't, not saying you don't have, not saying you shouldn't, or whatever. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I just wouldn't recommend it at this point, because I don't think it's going to work. Literally. But yeah, he can try to, be all immature and just react in a strange way about something when it's just very obviously a dispute of, hey, is what it is. Chances are if he's the one that sold it to you. I know. Let's see. He also said that you don't know where to look because when he bought it, apparently they still sold them, and that you don't know where to look, and you were trying to scam him on his Phantom. So is he accusing me of lying about where to find bags? Again, there's a lot of people that will verify this for me. I even talked to other vacuum stores. I talked to Alex. I looked over in every single parts distribution website. Steel City doesn't have bags. Esco doesn't have bags. eBay doesn't have bags. Other than the one person that I bought these ones from just now, never had bags. Amazon didn't have bags. Parts Warehouse didn't have bags. Every Rubbermaid's website did not have bags. Every single possible fucking website you could have looked did not have bags for this machine. Bullshit. Literal bullshit. Now, if you notice, he said they still sold them when he bought them. Okay, great. Doesn't matter if they still sold them when he bought them. If he lied to me and told me that the machine took SIBO G series bags, that was not true. So I bought the machine under the impression that I could use my existing G series bags, and that worst case scenario, if I ran out, that I could buy bags that were still very much produced. Had I been genuinely informed of the bag situation on this machine, I would not have purchased it. It's that simple. So, that's all there is to it. I could totally understand if he legitimately, because at first I thought it seemed like it would use SIBO bags. So I would totally understand if he was like, well, if he didn't mention the bag and, hey, didn't realize that it was its own proprietary bag, especially if you haven't had a G1. But if that's the case, why would you remove the old bag? Why? Why would you remove the old bag? I don't understand that. If you're going to remove a bag on a vacuum, make sure that they can get a replacement. Or Rubbermaid discontinued that model, I heard. Yeah, they discontinued it a few years ago. And right when they discontinued the machine, they discontinued the bags. There wasn't very much overlap there. Maybe a little, maybe by a couple months, but they don't make the bags anymore. And no third-party company that I'm aware of makes the bags. I've looked through every single company that I'm aware of that makes aftermarket vacuum bags. VAC doesn't make them. EnviroCare doesn't make them. Of course, there's many other examples, but no company that I could find makes those bags. So, it's not like I bought a Bissell and complained about not finding bags. Like, it's really strange. Yeah, Rubbermaid definitely discontinued that model. Rubbermaid doesn't make vacuums anymore. This happened a good number of years ago. I think they stopped in 2016. I want to say 17 maybe. So, because keep in mind, even if they discontinue bags, it is possible that you could still find bags for maybe a year or two afterwards, if there's still stock floating around. But once that stock depletes, you're done. So, again, I don't know how long Bray had that Rubbermaid. But the way Bray said it to me, he literally told me, I bought the machine, used it once or twice, didn't like it because it was too heavy, and I immediately sold it. He admits that he didn't have it for very long. At least that's the way he described it. Maybe it sat for a little bit. But he admits that it... Oh, God, YouTube. Why? So, he admits that he had it for a very short period of time. God, YouTube is being stupid. On the bright side, it is getting close to midnight, so we might cut the stream short. Not short, but we might hop off in a few minutes. But yeah, I don't know why this is being stupid. Everything's just not working right, but that's okay. At least kept coming back, so that's good. And yeah, so my kilobits are still decent right now, hopefully. So hopefully we can last until midnight. You realize that he knew what he was doing. Oh yeah, I'm not stupid. Like I told him this because he was like when because he commented in one of the comments. I hate it when people do this shit. It's one of the ways to piss me off. Whenever cuz someone asked me, "Oh, has Bray responded to the message that you sent him yet?" And I said, "As of now, there's no response." And then literally like right after I post that comment, maybe a minute later, I get a message from him. Is after I say that comment, and then he responds in the comment thread saying, "What are you talking about? I did message you back." Number one way to piss me off. Because no, wrong, that doesn't count. You don't get to write a comment immediately to me right after I already told someone that as of that point you had not responded, and then get to go back and say, well, you see, you lied. No, because at the time you didn't respond. Not how that works, in fact. So you don't get to rewrite history because you sent a message afterwards. If it was beforehand, yeah, I get it, but that wasn't the case. So, but anyways, and then so he commented, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, when it was, you know, I had it whenever it was working fine when I had it. And I was like, well, Bray, what else am I supposed to conclude? After I finally get bags for this machine, I can't even run the thing for more than a few seconds at a time. You're trying to tell me the machine somehow magically damaged itself and trying to pretend like it's something that I did, when the only reason we're even in this situation of it having to have been waiting is because you threw away the original bag. So, regardless, your story doesn't add up. Because the only evidence of this machine running shows that it shuts off. Why would I intentionally open up the machine and sabotage it to make it randomly do that? Even if I could. Why would I do that? That's stupid. There's no reason to do that. It's just like, I don't know. I legitimately don't understand the logic. Because there really isn't any logic there. It just defies logic. Because, look, I totally understand that it is, in fact, possible that something could legitimately fail from sitting for a period of time. But I don't find it likely that a machine that allegedly was perfectly working failed in a very specific way after having zero usage, zero wear, sitting in a climate-controlled room for less than 2 years. You know, very, very typical. A lot of people put vacuums in storage or do whatever. And I'm like, that doesn't pass the basic sniff test. It just doesn't. So, I was like, it really seems much more likely that the machine was faulty when you had it. At some point, you discovered this. You decide to sell it anyways, and you wanted to remove the bags so that way there would be this delay, knowing that bags were not available, hoping that I would either never find bags or it would take long enough for me to find bags that you could then claim that it was something that I did, which is exactly what ended up happening. And when you tried to remove the bag to make sure that scenario played out, you couldn't figure it out and ripped the bag out of the collar. Which person do you think is more likely to have damaged the machine? The person who didn't touch it, or the person who aggressively ripped the bag out of the bag duct? I'll let you come to your own conclusions on that. William, this was over Macari. So there's no way to go back and do anything about it. The return policy is only 15 days. And it's been much longer than that. Shipping or when he had got it, I don't think Bray did anything to it. It was probably broken. I don't think Bray did anything to it. It was probably broken. Well, if that's the case, then that's not good because it means that he shipped a broken machine. And if it got damaged during shipping, which I didn't see any evidence of any shipping damage, like the machine, it's in excellent, I will say, like, the machine's in excellent condition. So I have any problems with it because the machine looks great. It's in very good condition. There's pretty much no scratches on it. And during the few seconds you're able to use it, it's a great machine. And that's kind of the most unfortunate part. Like, it was great. had it not shut off, I'd be very happy with it. That's the sad part. So, I don't know. I don't know. I think there's different scenarios that have different amounts of likeliness for sure. But I think it's delusional to say that the most common scenario is that I somehow damaged the machine, and that not only, because I could totally understand, like, look, man, it's been a while, it's been a really long time, there's not really much I can do. That'd be one thing, but making fun of and insulting one of your customers and cursing at them behind their back and gaslighting them into believing that they're somehow stupid or they somehow broke something, it's not a way that you conduct good business. It's just not. And I learned that the hard way many, many times over the years. So I think it was broken when he had it, but he didn't know because he couldn't find bags. Working good was probably it in very good condition, and him turning it on for 1 second to test it. See, had the machine never had a bag in it, that'd be a plausible scenario. But he told me himself when I bought the machine that it had a bag in it and that he removed the bag. So that's out the window. He used it for at least a somewhat extended period of time, allegedly, but at some point it likely failed, because that's when he decided to remove the bag. So it's possible that, or maybe here's one thing. Here's a very realistic scenario that I think very well could have happened, that I just thought about. Maybe it had a bag in it, and the bag might have been reasonably full. Maybe he ran it without having any other bags, saw the sensor go off, and thought that it was actually because of the bag. Which, if the bag had stuff in it, even if it wasn't full, maybe maybe he sold it anyways because he assumed, well, the sensor's working fine, because it's detecting that the bag is getting somewhat close to full. So I'll remove this bag. Come back. Wow, YouTube. Because, sorry, it keeps glitching. So, I think it is entirely possible that he knew of this issue, technically speaking, but didn't understand what it was doing, or didn't understand that it wasn't what he thought it was. Because logically speaking, if he had a bag in it that was half full, he might have just quickly ripped out the bag because he thought that would then fix the issue. And then figured, oh, it probably works. So that's actually a good point. Maybe he genuinely believed that it was working. And maybe the bag was just genuinely full. And now he's naturally kind of like, what the fuck? So that is a possibility. It's certainly a possibility. Because I could totally see myself making the same mistake and not understanding it. But the reason why I don't think that's what happened is because, again, he was very, very defensive. He didn't say, oh no, I mean, it was doing that when I had it, but I had a bag in it, so I thought it was genuinely telling me that the bag was clogged. At any point, he could have said that, and it would have perfectly passed the sniff test, and it would have been like, okay, well, that's an understandable mistake. But I don't think that happened, because if it happened, he would have said that instead of trying to make all these excuses that are entirely irrelevant to the machine. Why on earth was there a dryer sheet on the vacuum? Yeah, because that's one thing I also didn't realize until I was troubleshooting it, that he didn't actually have a post motor filter in it. It was a dryer sheet. Now, I'm not going to hold that as much against him because I I don't think he mentioned I don't think he mentioned it. I don't think he mentioned having a dryer sheet, but I also I don't think he said, "Oh, it has both original filters either." So, it's not ideal, but I'll give him somewhat of a pass on it. Although personally, if I had a dryer sheet in there, I would tell the customer. I think that's what you should do. So that's still kind of a point off technically, but compared to the other main issue, it's not really that big of a deal. Although it's not great. It's not good, obviously. But if it was just the dryer sheet, I'd have been like, oh, that's stupid. And then I would have been like, okay, whatever, I'll buy another filter, cut it out, and stick it in there, and be done with it, you know? Because that's an easy solution. But if I was him, I would have said that. Like, hey, by the way, I didn't have any filter material or filter put in there, but I put a dryer sheet in there. You could cut some out and put it in there if you want to. And I would have been like, okay, cool. So, fair enough. But that's why I'm not going to put a huge knock against it, because had he mentioned it, it wouldn't have affected my buying decision. That's basically what I'm getting at, is that if it's something that would have affected my buying decision, I'd put a lot more weight on it than if it hasn't. Even though some other person it might be different, but for me, a dryer sheet, that's not going to affect my decision really, Maybe if I was really on the fence, but I don't know. Whereas different bags and a faulty sensor is pretty much an entirely different, for sure. Did you see my last message? What happened? Good night, Chance. I don't know if I trust to ship out my Thunder and XD for that Fury, but I really want it. Okay. A Fury. I'm confused. Shipping or when he had it. Shipping or when he had got it. Oh, you're saying it was probably broken when Bray got it, right? I think I misread that comment. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. His SE. What about the SE? Oh no! Don't try. After this, okay. I'm just gonna if you still. Again, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but it's like I wouldn't trust. I mean, there's an obvious reason why I wouldn't trust Bray, because that SE, I was supposed to get that SE like 2 years ago anyways. He knows that. Because he wanted me to trade my Green Fury for it, which that Green Fury I paid less for than the Rubbermaid. So again, he's acting like I was super unreasonable for mentioning that, because he's charging way too much for the Fury. I don't know. But that's not my problem. So, and I kept asking him, I was like, dude, just let me buy the SE. And he's like, no, I want to make sure I get a Green Fury. I'm like, there's one on eBay right now. Go fucking buy it, and I'll buy the SE for the price that you pay for the Green Fury. And he's like, no, I don't want to do that. And I'm like, what do you want to do here? And he's like, well, I want you to ship me your Green Fury, and then I'll ship you the SE. And I was like, fuck no, that ain't happening. I was like, so the only way you're going to promise to give me this SE is if I send you my Fury first, on the hope that you'll send the SE. That sounds like a good way to get a vacuum stolen, but whatever. Because that's how you would do a trade, is you would each buy it for the same price and then it evens out. That's how it's always been done. But he refused to do it because he's probably a scammer, because why else would you not do that? Like, clearly his intention was not to get a Green Fury in trade for his SE. His attempt is to get... But then again, I don't even understand that either, because it's only because now he only wants to sell his Green Fury now that he wants an unreasonable price for it. And it's like, and it's funny because a few years ago I might have actually paid that, but now no, because it's not worth it. But I don't know. I just don't understand the logic, because it's like if he wanted, because Green Furies are much easier to find than an SE. That doesn't mean they're necessarily worth any more, but they are in terms of how common they are. There is a difference, because the Fury, the green 12 amp Fury is the most common Fury shaped thing that has Phantoms ever sold. And one of the most common Phantoms. It and the Thunder are the most common Phantoms that you're going to find. The Thunder being the most common. Although I've noticed more Furies popping up recently. Whereas a few years ago, you would only see Thunders. That's why it took me so long to find a Fury. But now you see them all the time, which is weird. I guess because people are getting rid of their Thunders more often than their Furies, so a lot of those people are finally letting go of their Furies now. I can only assume that's the, yeah. I don't know if it is because the base is broken in multiple pieces. Yeah. He wants $250 for a machine with an entirely destroyed base. Like, I'm going to have to part out a machine to get that machine running. Now, the good news is that now I do have a machine to use for parts. I have that broken limited edition. I could legitimately use that. But I'm not paying for a machine. I'm not paying brand new price for a machine that I have to replace parts for. That's asinine. And he knows that. But of course, you know, I almost wonder if he doesn't actually want to sell it. And he's just trying to like get a lot of, and it's one of those machines, because I've seen people do this before, and I'm guilty of doing this too. Not to that extent, but where I'll charge a little bit more than a machine's actually worth because I don't really want to sell it, but I'm also not super attached to it. So, you know, hey, if someone's willing to cost of replacement plus the inconvenience of them having to find it again, it's like the logic that I kind of put behind it. I can totally understand that. But that person needs to be honest about it. They need to say, you know, hey, your offer isn't invalid, but I personally am not comfortable trading the Fury for that machine because I'd rather actually get cash out of it. But here's XYZ that I could offer you instead, you know, to make up for it, or whatever the case may be. There's other ways to go about it. But yeah. But anyways, YouTube's trying to play an ad. Let me skip that, because I'm just going to go ahead and cut this off a little bit. Because this keeps failing. Not the screwdriver, YouTube. I'm getting the poor message now, which is not great. I'm getting this garbage. Like, I'm getting all this garbage. Just error. Stream is healthy, no data. Stream is healthy, no data. Stream's healthy. Like, look at this crap. Just dropping in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And this is all night. Look at this. All night this has been happening. Oh, I don't think it's YouTube, because I just searched no data. Why does it say no data? It just did it again. So I might have to ISP, because I just switched ISPs. And it's just not, this is stupid. And it sucks because my download is fine. Yeah, it keeps dropping in and out. It's very, very unstable. So look at this crap. Just over and over. Look at this. 12, 13, 12, 13, 12, 13. 5 times in 1 minute. 5 times in 1 minute. Really? So anyway, guys, I'm going to hop off because this clearly is not going to get any better. I'm going to have to call my ISP. Not tomorrow because it's Sunday, but maybe Monday. And hopefully they'll be able to get this fixed. So anyways, this is Intelitech Studios signing out. I'll see you guys in the next video. There will be a video coming soon. I don't know what it is yet, but it's going to be something at least. I'm going to try to get a video filmed tomorrow and put out tomorrow, but we'll see how that goes. No promises, at least. Under promise and over deliver. That's my motto at this point. So yeah, this is Intelitech Studios signing out, and this quickly before this drops off again. I'll see you guys in the next video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you all have a good one. Peace.